Hey, what's up everyone? It's Vashal here, and in today's video I want to talk about why I think Assassin's Creed Origin is one of the best Assassin's Creed games that Ubisoft actually made. And this is my personal opinion. After playing all the Assassin's Creed in a series, I've been spending countless hours. I think I've been spending about at least 50 if not 70 hours per game to actually fully complete it and to actually fully enjoy it. And by far I can tell that Assassin's Creed Origin has been one of the most enjoyable experiences that I've actually had. I haven't actually managed to play Odyssey at the moment, but I do look forward to actually see what is all about this Origin, because a lot of people were saying that the game it's a great game, but it's not anymore an Assassin's Creed. And I feel like Origin is where the whole story kind of stops from actually turning out to become a really fantasy based like RPG and slowly fades away from the whole idea of Assassin's Creed. We know that Assassin's Creed is set in a science fiction type of setting where the character meets up with these deities that are actually guiding them to finding this apple of Eden or other items of that are part of Eden. But before I actually have the possibility to play Odyssey and actually make a final conclusion, I decided to actually talk a little bit about why I think Assassin's Creed Origin has been by far the best, and why I think Ubisoft done a really good job at introducing the player to a new type of genre, a new type of game. There's a lot of people who are complaining about the fact that Assassin's Creed is no longer the same way, and this video is all about talking about why I think Ubisoft done a really good job, and why I think that you need to rethink if you think that Assassin's Creed Origin and Odyssey has been doing a really bad thing, and well, basically the game has taken a wrong turn, and why I think that it was necessary for Ubisoft to actually change. If we look throughout the whole games, we notice that there's a similar pattern. Most Assassin's Creed games are pretty much designed the same way. It doesn't give you that much of a freedom of exploration and open world feel, although some of the games, as furthermore we progress, we do see an expansion of the map, but we don't really want to explore and to actually see what's happening, as per example how I've seen in Assassin's Creed Origins, when I'm being more and more interested about the lore and the whole setting of Assassin's Creed. One of the reasons why I do like it is because it's situated in Egypt, and I always found that Egypt has such a mysterious and fascinating history, and I would say as well religion, because of their gods and exploring and having pyramids, and it just makes such a beautiful setting. And I'm absolutely certain that a lot of people who actually enjoy this game do it because they enjoy the whole setting of being in Egypt and being able to explore. But we also get to be a much more, I would say, closer connection with the lore of Altair, because Altair's story happens not too far away from Egypt, I would say, and because Altair's setting is very similar as Origins is, due to the fact that it gives that Eastern Asian like kind of feel in a whole sense. I mean, Assassin's Creed and Altair happens in Israel, but it's very similar to how Assassin's Creed Origin feels like, and that's why a lot of people actually feel more connected to the character itself compared to other settings and other eras. It's just fascinating to me to actually see so many things to explore. And if you can see in this video, I've been exploring for the second time the pyramids of Giza, the other pyramids. I've been playing this game even before, back when I was in Romania, and back then I started playing Assassin's Creed, the first one, until the third one, and then I actually dropped the third one because I felt like the game was repeating itself, and I honestly didn't like the character that much. I didn't like Connor when I first played him, and I didn't like the setting of American Revolution. I could not connect at all with it. I honestly thought that I would not like the Italian Renacentism era where Ezio was, but because the game did such a great job at explaining the character, you start to fall in love, and you start to love the world that you're actually found yourself in. So you easily can get lost in it. And one of the things that I actually loved about Origins was the fact that I could easily get lost, not only because I love the settings, and I do love Egypt quite a lot. Never been to Egypt, but I would really love to actually go there. But one amazing thing is that Ubisoft has created a world that you can actually go and check, and you can even actually make comparison to the real world, and that's absolutely amazing. Ubisoft has been creating amazing maps, amazing cities, and oftentimes people criticize the company as not creating games at their fullest expectations, but we gotta realize that creating such a beautiful world and not being able to actually appreciate it can actually be a sad thing, because the developers have been putting so much work in actually designing the world and making the whole Egypt, I mean literally the whole Egypt, our fingertips. We could actually travel from one side to the others. It's absolutely amazing, and not many games actually get you to explore that. I'm sure that Odyssey has a bigger map than Origins has, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna receive the game, and I'll definitely make an update on how I feel about Odyssey. Until then, I do want to continue to address how much I actually like Origin and why. Second, I would like to talk about the character. Bayek is probably one of my favorite characters because he is the founder of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. We don't know about Templars back then, but we do have these masked figures, and as I'm speaking right now, I have not finished the game. I'm barely, I would say, 50 hours in the game, and I'm just half away there, I think, if not more, and I'm enjoying every single side mission or main mission as I go through. So I don't know exactly what is the whole point of their order, but I would still call them Templars, even though they are not. If some of you have been finishing the game, please don't share anything on the comments. I do want to enjoy the game as it is, and I don't look for spoilers in any way. So Bayek for me is one of the most well-rounded characters that Assassin's Creed franchise actually made, because of the fact that he can be quite brutal in combat, especially when you acknowledge that that he had to undergo so much pain because of the fact that losing his own child that he loved so much. And we can see this repetition of in Assassin's Creed, where the main protagonist actually loses someone dear to them. Arno's losing his father, you have Ezio's losing his entire family. What I'm trying to say is that based on the energy that revenge actually creates, you can create quite an interesting story based around that. That's why Arno's story and Ezio's story, I would say it was quite successful and very similar. So Bayek doesn't stand any way far away from that, and I think that's why it is so well received in most of them, where the character is pursuing revenge and trying to perfect himself and to grow and to find their targets, whoever killed his family, or in this case in Origins his son. So it creates a very strong reason why the character is pursuing to get the Templars and eliminate them one by one until he actually finds out the whole story behind who actually killed. So I'm really curious to actually find out what's happening later on and who is actually the killer. And I'm absolutely in love with the fact that Bayek has such a balanced character, I would say, personality, because for example, when he interacts with characters, especially children, the way he reacts is as if he is their father, and So he treats them like a father, and you feel like he's somehow talking to you in a way or another. It really feels like he is the father of the Brotherhood, and it creates that parenthood kind of vibe whenever I'm playing and I'm actually seeing his story, compared to other characters from the franchise, obviously. And that really made me love him for who he really is, without finding any flaws, except the fact that I feel that Ubisoft has went a little bit backwards when it comes to character animation, and I'll be speaking about that later on in another video. Why I think that Assassin's Creed was having a very nice engine in Unity and Syndicate, and it was allowing the game to actually be molded in such amazing cinematics. I cannot say that the cinematics are any worse than it used to be, but I feel like in Unity the cinematics were much more higher, and you could see the face expression of the character was a little bit much more detailed and a little bit much more fine work. But that didn't stop me from actually enjoying this game nevertheless. So going back, because I don't want to actually speak about the other Assassin's Creed at the moment, I do want to point out the main things that I liked. I do like the settings of Egypt, and the fact that you can go and explore the world, and it's so beautifully designed, and the fact that your character gives you a parenthood kind of vibe. It makes you connect so well with Bayek, and I'm honestly surprised that Ubisoft has managed to create such a great character, and no wonder why a lot of people actually request a sequel for him, because he's such a nice character and to play as and to actually explore more and more. Now, in terms of the gameplay, we can definitely see a different turn to how the gameplay actually is. It does feel like a more of a hack and slash RPG element, where if you don't have a target, you're not anymore based on combat. You have to actually dodge, you have to get to parry, and sometimes it can be quite difficult, and sometimes it can be quite easy to execute a large group of people once you actually get the hang of it, and once you actually invest enough time to explore the game. But I do see that the game has been heavily, and I mean heavily, detailed in so many things, like from the fact that you can actually go and explore the whole world and lose yourself on doing so, like I'm doing in this video. I've been exploring, because I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins before I actually started playing again Assassin's Creed 3, then Black Flag, and Unity, Rogue, Syndicate, everything. I did play Assassin's Creed Origins back then, and I was amazed about the whole graphics shift and how much the world has changed, and I fell in love for the very first time. So when I came back to the same setting, which was here in Giza, I started exploring. Although I was familiarized with some of the areas that I've been to, and I kind of remembered some of the things, I still was amazed about how well designed the whole area, and made me feel like I want to explore in a immersive way the whole catacombs or underneath the pyramids. And later on, which I don't have a footage, I've been going through one of the pyramids, and I finally encountered a little bit of the story behind the ones that were before, and it kind of interacted with one of the Templars, whatever, which was the hyena based story, and that's how I actually managed to go and see it. The game did not present itself in a cinematic way. It does not do that all the time. Sometimes you just talk with a character, and that's that. You were just listening. It didn't feel like it was an important part, although for me just by being there and listening to the whole thing fascinated me and made me love Assassin's Creed even more. That's why I even actually made this video. So the gameplay definitely changed a lot, and it's not only about the fact that it focuses now more on exploration and gives you so many options to do. You do have a lot more, much more to explore, and a lot more running than you used to do before, but now it feels like you have a much more purpose when you're exploring. It does feel like it's an MMO, or it's a well done RPG because of that, and that's why I absolutely love what Ubisoft has managed to actually do. They actually managed to make me as a player to want to see what did Ubisoft actually create. A lot of the times when I played Assassin's Creed, I played for the whole idea of the story, not all the time the setting. I didn't, as I said, I didn't like the revolutionary setting of Assassin's Creed 3. When I replayed it, I started liking it because I tried to go beyond the whole surface and look at the whole aspects. I looked at the story, I looked at the setting, I tried to look at everything that Ubisoft was doing right, and the developers have been actually spending so many hours to actually make the game that we actually have today. So for me, seeing this kind of shift towards an RPG element really surprised me. And I'm really happy that Ubisoft decided to actually go and help the player be more interested in this kind of environment, to actually more explore and immerse itself in the whole world of Origin. It's just amazing to actually see what this company was able to achieve, and I think that there's a lot more things that we can appreciate from Ubisoft. Obviously, the company is not perfect, and I think there's enough videos talking a lot of negative things about the company, and I don't want to be the type of person who does that. But I do want to point out the good things that Ubisoft done, and the bound and the history that it was able to achieve. We can all appreciate that. Despite the fact that some things are not perfect, they're not perfectly done by the company. We do have a franchise that we do love and appreciate, and that's really amazing. And the amount of details that has been placed in this game really amazes me and makes me want to give more praise to the company, and to really say thank you for actually making this amazing game. I look forward to continue to have the same experience later on, maybe in 100 hours spent. I don't know how exactly it's gonna be, but I feel like the world is massive, and I could spend at least 200 hours in the game overall. It is a lot. I did not feel like I need to end the game as I did feel on previous ones, and that's why I actually wanted to make this video, because the game is made in such a way that makes me want more and not get bored of the whole thing. So a lot of people said that it's repetitive and it feels like it is not anymore the Assassin's Creed, but I want to mention that even if it changed quite a bit, or quite a lot for some people, I do feel like it's at its roots the Assassin's Creed, and I think it is amazing. There's definitely some flaws here and there, and there's definitely some things that we're gonna miss, and maybe Ubisoft is gonna introduce later on, but that remains to be seen. For the moment, I think that the game is amazing as it is, and the fact that the developers put so much accent on even small details. I mean, I don't know if many people recognize the fact that fire in the game is so well designed. As for example, I was shooting an arrow with my Predator bow, the one that you can actually snipe and everything, and if it goes through a fire, a torch or something like that, it lights on fire, and actually when it hits the target or hits the area where you're actually trying to hit, it does ignite the whole area. The same goes with other elemental items that you have, like bows and everything, or or fire bombs that you could use and actually interact with that kind of things. It creates something that it has never been possible in Assassin's Creed, and I don't think there's ever has been possible in any RPG that I've seen. Yes, you would have mages and you would have Skyrim and you would have games where you could have this and that, but I don't think it was that well focused on what you can actually do. And I think that Ubisoft did a really good job at actually developing that and creating so small details. I'm sure there are much more, but this was one in particular that I was like amazed about when I actually noticed, because I was trying to shoot and I was like, hold on, I don't have fire arrows. Anyway, I don't want to, extend this video, and I just want to end the fact that I did enjoy this game to the fullest, and I look forward to actually explore more and maybe make more videos about the fact that how much I love this game or how much I love that game. So let me know, guys, in the comments, what is your opinion of Assassin's Creed Origins? What do you think Ubisoft did right, and what do you expect to see in future Assassin's Creed, maybe in Assassin's Creed Ragnarok when it comes out? I look forward to hear. Do you think that Assassin's Creed Ragnarok is gonna be fairly different than Odyssey and Origins, because they tend to actually change the engine? So yeah, I'm curious to hear that. So once again, my name is Vacharal, and if you want to check out more of our content, feel free to go and check on our channel. Take care, have a nice day.